Okay, I get it. Where's the package? Oh, this is just something to be there. Where's the package? I'm sure the title says something like huge, massive, enormous, gargantuan drone lot. The box is too big. I can't fit it up here. So, yeah, I'm going to put a picture up here somewhere. And I'm going to be reaching down here to grab pieces out, and we'll go over them. But yes, this is, the box is literally, let's measure it. Matter of fact, I mean, it would literally be right here next to the camera. So let me get it cut open. And I'd be willing to say that in the near future, some of this excess drone stuff that I've got out of these 3 lots, one was a motor lot, one was just a conglomeration with a set of goggles in it that work. And then this one is like everything. I mean, it's just so much that that's heavy. I don't know what all this is. But this, I mean, I probably should just set this box off to the side and pull out of it, and it would take a while. Wire mesh kit. Don't know what that's for, but I got some wire mesh, and it's a kit. A couple screws. Empty Mylar package. Everybody needs that. And if you remember the other kit, if it's posted yet, just like this, tons of just random parts. Looks like there's a buzzer in there. There's some wires with Molex connectors, J connector. There's a wireless light strip and a connector, some little tiny connectors. There is a conglomeration of bits and pieces of everything. So, and I really like stuff like this, is because this will all go into a smaller container. I'll pack it all in, and I'll just grab this stuff when I need a wire or I need a something, and I'll usually find it. So not a big deal, but a very useful grab bag of just random stuff. Ooh-wee. That looks like that could have been dangerous. I don't think there's anything damaging the battery, but it is got some scarring on the outside of the battery. The battery is not swollen anywhere. It's a Carnegie, what's the voltage? 14.8. So this would be, I guess, for those, that remote, that Carnegie remote maybe. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 4S. So I don't know how that would work coming into something, but this is going to have to go in my battery bags to protect. Oh golly, me from things blowing up. So this battery is swole up and ready to explode. So that's going to be recycled. This is a 13 amp hour 3-cell. So this is kind of a little cool deal. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's a little 3-cell. Seems like the battery's in great shape. Again, we've got another one. This is, so far, this is the only one swole, and it's swole a little bit. I mean, it's got some small issues. Looks like somebody taped it up. And so let's just stop and talk here. I can't go much further because I'm just nervous having this here. When a battery begins to swell, a LiPo battery like this is very tight. I mean, that is very tight. So this LiPo battery was starting to swell because it was going bad. I don't know how many cells are in here, but I can see 1, 2 cells are swollen. And it looks like there are probably 2 more. So yeah, so you got 2 more cells in here, which maybe one of them is potentially good, but I wouldn't reuse nothing out of this. So it's a 4-cell battery, and they're swelling up so bad that they've actually just stretched out and popped the tape because somebody taped them up. Don't ever do that. If your battery is starting to swell, even if it takes a charge and discharges and you charge it up again and use it again, you're risking burning your home down having something like this. Now, these are going to go in my battery bag. This is going to go outside somewhere. I don't even want to hook this up to my charger to see about discharging it, but I'm going to need to make sure that it is discharged. So never, if you get a battery that's got swelling to it at all, you'll see like this right here, you can see flat sides on that battery because it's not puffy. But if you see any starting to puff out on it, that battery is starting to give up and it wants to be somewhere else and take whatever it can with it. And here we go. We got another one. This is another 14.8 Carnegie battery. So it looks like there's multiples of these. And when I saw this box, and this, I'm glad this one was on top. Looks like little brushes. But when I saw this box, I was afraid this was the condition. So let me get down to these batteries so we can look at them closer, because I need to sort through them and then we'll figure out what's what later. I don't know what this is. I really don't. Pagoda 2 Emax. Don't know, but it's some kind of an antenna. And another thing, there should be all kind of waste stickers and hazards and everything on this box, and there's not, because I think it's illegal to ship something like this in the mail. Because this can potentially explode. Could have set this entire box on fire. Just to let you know. Here is a Next Wave RF5 G8. So I guess that is probably some kind of receiver, maybe. Comment and let me know. Here we've got, it looks like audio, video, power, and connector for a camera setup for a drone, which is nice. I was pretty sure I was going to need some of that. And I've got some of these that I had gotten years ago for other things, but these are also useful, really useful for drones. And so I've got like 3 of these, and 2 of them will stay with my electronics, and 1 of them I'll keep with the drone stuff. And that's where I'll use it with drone stuff. Then some more screws, empty bag, a bag of heat shrink, good to have. Here is some antenna wire, flex receiver antenna, far sky receiver antenna, 15 centimeter IPEX connectors. So it's IPEX connectors on at least a couple of them, and I don't know about these. I guess the IPEX connectors are up in here. But those antenna wires, that's good to have. Here are several antennas where you can go from an IPEX, and I guess that's what that is, a little tiny connector, to a larger antenna. So that's some adapters. Here's some little brushes, usually used to cleaning cameras and stuff. Here's another adapter or a connector kit. I think I even have 1 or 2 of those. Here is some number 12 red and black. It's going to be like a silicone wire. That's great for running battery connections and stuff. Cobra Go or something. Empty box. And there's some screws. And this is good to have. This is a gain connector. So I can run this into a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can run this into a 6, and then I can hook up other batteries from a 2S to a 6S, and I would think I can hook up multiple batteries. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. I'm still really new to drone stuff, and so there's a lot of stuff I don't know. Some kind of adapters or converters or something. And this, I just don't know. It's another battery, and I'm very skittish because it's got tape on it too. So tape on these batteries are bothering me, because I don't know why they're putting tape unless it's potentially bad stuff. This appears to be some kind of, it's a receiver and or transmitter or what? Probably it says Foxer. And this is just a battery connection for it to be able to connect and make it live, I guess. And then you would hook your camera, drone, or whatever into here. And here's the power supply it's strapped down to. So I might have to check into that. As a matter of fact, I'm taking the battery off. I just don't want... We'll figure this out later. And these batteries, I got to check into it. I can't tell if that's swollen, but apparently whoever had this stuff felt like it was okay to tape a LiPo battery that was swelling to keep going. I don't feel that way. I don't feel that way at all. So here are some camera connectors, it looks like, for drones and other stuff, for stuff. Let me put that. I'll tell you what, that wiring needs to go in that bag of miscellaneous wiring. That is a camera lens. So there's a camera lens for a camera. Let's stick that behind. Here is, and I'm guessing that this is some kind of small ESCs maybe, but let's put them back here. Here's a wire connector. This is a mini or micro HDMI to full-size HDMI. I see another very dangerous battery. We got some adapters of some sort. Okay, it's official. This person scares me. And I didn't buy this from a individual that was using it. This came from like someone, like a junk shop or something that buys stuff from people and then resells it on eBay or something. Lights. So I've got a ton of batteries, it seems. And I would be willing to bet probably most of them are useless. But some of them are ticking time bombs. Here's a 1500, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a 4S battery, which is going to be what, 18 something volts. I don't have the details, but this needs to go somewhere not in my house. That same thing. This one, like I said, I think that one is like minor beginnings to swell possibly, but it doesn't feel like it. You know, when I'm pressing on it, I don't feel airspace, and it's not real tight. So that battery might be okay if it's any good. And here's some 1, 2, 3, 4 cell. The 14/8. I can't make out exactly what all that is, but we'll figure that out at some point. Another 4-cell. Now, a lot of these have been just beat and bunged around. I'm gonna be honest with you, how these didn't catch on fire and just blow, I don't know. Another 4-cell. And these tape batteries are just scaring me. And then there's taped. And then there's another one of those. See, this is, I think, one of these. Yeah. Yeah, that's a Vincem. That's just another, I don't know. But here we got another one of these. You can see some damage. So the drones have crashed with these batteries, and these batteries have hit rocks probably. You can see how the outside's torn, but it's just like dents on the side of the battery, but it's not actually punctures to the battery. So the batteries are probably, possibly, potentially, maybe still good. 1, 2, 3, 4-cell. There's a ton of 4-cells in here. And then stuff like this scares me. Somebody grabbed a couple of 18650s and a charge board for an 18650, and they were apparently using it. They were charging it through this and using it to power something. I don't know. But again, like I said, that is disconcerting. I don't trust anything all taped up. So I'm going to have to do a lot of tests and health tests and everything on these batteries. And what I mean by health tests is I'm going to take time to connect them to my charger, and I'm going to run resistance tests and other things to see what the resistance values are on the batteries, if there's any charge, if they will take a charge, potentially maybe any good, maybe not any good. I don't know. There's just too many batteries here to try to figure it out. Some of these batteries seem to be in great shape. Some of them seem to have been knocked around a pretty good bit. I don't smell any fruity smell. And I'm not trying to be weird with making that comment, but what I mean by that is when these batteries are like at burst, or they do burst, you puncture one of these batteries and you'll smell something. And when you smell it, and I think maybe the tape is on this because they added this connector, which is scary because it's like you're connecting the battery back into itself. So I don't know. But anyway, I think that's why the tape's on it. So I think the battery is probably a decent one. But anyway, like I said, you'll smell a very distinct, sharp, pungent, fruity kind of smell. It'll remind you of fruit. And then you know that the battery has punctured, and that is why that's where that smell's coming from. It's coming from the punctured battery. And so you don't want to keep that battery around you. You want to get rid of it. So I've got 2 severely swollen batteries. And these right here, I don't even care if they take a charge. I don't even want them to, because these are going to be rendered inert to some degree. I may even take and see, kind of do a video and puncture them so you can see what that looks like. And any of these batteries that I dispose of or I don't feel comfortable with, I'll do that. At least by 1 or 2 of them or something like that, so you can see it. But I do not recommend that you punch anything in these batteries. It needs to be in a controlled situation where you have safeties in place. These batteries are, I don't know where they're going, but not. These batteries are going in a bag. a protective bag. One of the things that are dangerous with these batteries is heat. If you put one of these in your car, it can be perfectly good. When you come out, it looks like that, and when it looks like that, get rid of it because it's ready to explode. And by I mean, it'll pop, and when it does, it could cause this to short. And when it does, it's going to burn. Everything you need, everything these things need to burn is inside of them. It doesn't need anything outside. It doesn't need anything from you. It doesn't need fuel or anything like that. It's all here. It's all self-contained. The chemicals in here will burn. And that's what makes them so bad. Now, I want to save these leads and connectors. You can see I've had one battery that I already took out, and that was I had these batteries. I got them in from China. One of them had a little swelling to it. I had no idea anything about LiPos. I charged them all up fully and stuck them in a drawer, and they've been there for years. And when I started researching LiPo batteries, I found out about the swelling and everything, and I disabled this battery and took it out. And that's what I'm going to do with these two. And I'm going to test these. And if any of these has really, really high resistance, then I'm not going to bother with them. I may save some of the cells in some of the batteries. I don't know, but I'm not going to video that because I don't recommend anybody pulling a battery apart. I don't recommend anybody working on these batteries or do anything to them. Me pulling these leads and stuff out, I'm not even going to video that because I don't want anybody to try to mess with these things and you end up burning yourself or someone. Because if you set one of these off, it's going to burn. It's going to be hurt. It's going to burn hot, intense, and it's going to hurt you or wherever you're at. So, with all that said, long drawn out explanation. But let me set these batteries off to the side. Oh goodness! I'm just going to set these back on top, so I definitely don't lose track of those two. And I need to. Here's my. This is just going to be a long video. It's just way too much stuff in here to be otherwise. I mean, there's just no way I can make this short and sweet. It's just too involved. I'm going to go ahead and set this to the side. We'll open this up and we'll put some of these individual things in here. Camera. These, which I guess they can, no, they're open. I'll figure out what these are. We'll go from there. So, I need to, oh goodness, there's just so much stuff in here. Okay, so this is cool. Some more wiring and stuff. So this is cool. This is a gang charger. And it's got a 40 amp breaker on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is a 6S. So this will plug into my deal. And so technically I can charge 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can charge up to 6 batteries at once with this setup. Now, from what I understand, some of the drawbacks to charging multiple batteries at once is you lose your individual balance charging. This says balance charging plate. You do have a balance connector, but when you connect more than one battery, then it is seeing each of these balance connectors as a single one, because this is what's plugged into the charger. And so it's not balance charging individual cells connected to this. It will be, if you got 3 of them on here, it's balance charging all 3 of those the same. And I don't know how it would be like charging a 2S versus a 3S versus a 4S, 5S, and a 6S all at the same time. But my assumption would be the individual voltages per cell would be the same. But and if you're charging 6S, and once you're sitting here charging the 2S, then it just wouldn't continue to try to charge cells because it's not no connections for it. But I don't think I would charge multiple individual batteries, like a 2S, and then come over here to this one and charge a 6S on this one at the same time. I would put all 6S, all 2S, all 3S, 4S, or 5S, or whatever at one time if I wanted to charge multiple batteries. Now, this is cool to have, but I just don't foresee myself charging enough batteries to really have a huge need for that, in all honesty. Here is like speaker or magnet wire. It's 22 gauge Remington Industries. So I can make me some electromagnets. Cool. That's there. that's that. See what we got here. So we have more cleaner things, TPU printed camera holders, pieces of drone, a little container. Just see if I can get a handful of stuff and pull it out here, and we'll kind of go through it. See what we got. This seems like this is the soldering connector portion. It looks like a capacitor and a couple of, some little boards in there. USB converter. So I was almost running out of good solder. So now I think this has got some good solder replacement. It feels kind of soft, but I think anything that's not the cheap Chinese solder will actually solder. I hope you've seen my issues with the cheap Chinese solder. There's another, and I seen one of these somewhere else. Let me put it in my wire bag. And so here is a roll of solder wick. That's nice. Another just in random wire. Let's get these separated out. Just more random wires. Looks like a USB connector. That'd be nice to add on to something if need be. And like I said, here's a drone pieces. More wires. Another USB mini micro. I get them confused. I can't remember which is which. If that's the mini, the micro, or the whatever. USB converter. No, that's cool. That is, I think it's standard HDMI, mini HDMI, and micro HDMI. And don't quote me on that, but I think that's what that is. I just know I need the tiny one for my camera, or I need the medium one for my camera, or the regular one. Another USB, some more wires, just random stuff that's made up. That needs some repair, but that's still usable. Another plug there, and what is this? I don't know, I guess this is just an adjustable switch, maybe? Oh, I know what this is. I think this plugs into a camera, and this is a small joystick to actually change the settings on that camera. So that's really nice. That's like 3 of those I got now. Or 4. Just stick that in there. Here's a little micro screwdriver. I got one of these somewhere. I'll never use it, but I got it. So let's set this off to the side and see what we got next. I'm kind of trying to sort a little bit of this because it's just so much stuff. Oh, that is just unreal. It's unreal the amount of stuff. And I'll try to do a plethora combination video of stuff. Just random screws, more random screws, 10 millimeter, 5 millimeter, and then 8 millimeter screws. I got a lot of stuff for motors and stuff. More wiring. I'll tell you what, just tons of wiring. Emax, empty. I don't know what that is. Beta Flight 3. I don't know. I think it's empty. I guess it is, but it's got some kind of wire in it. I don't know what this is, but maybe there's one in here somewhere. Propellers. And then here's some standoffs and some more connectors. Just trying to get the little boxes out now. See what I got. And this stuff is just piled in here. This box is just completely filled. More screws, 7 millimeter looks like. Spacers, build out, I don't know. Screws, nuts, screws, and metal standoffs and screws. Just more and more of more and more. So like I said, I've got so much of so many of these things that I can foresee I'm going to be selling some to get rid of it. Roosh 5L. So maybe this is basically everything you need to build a specific drone of this particular size. If you remember, there was part of a frame on this bag, so I'm just going to stick this in here. That kind of looks like parts of that as well. So let's see. Here's something. Novo Performance Motors. Sounds bad. Well, I don't guess it's bad. They're just randomly laid up in here. But here's some little motors. There's 4 of them. So it's a clockwise 2204, 2300. So we got multiple little motors. That's nice. Got tons. I got 70 something motors in that other kit, and so here's 4 more. What is this? Electron IX. Electronics. Never mind. This is a programmer of some sort. USB linker. Don't know what that is. Some kind of a board. Some ferrite beads. Here's some banana jacks and banana plugs. HDMI converters. Jumpers and alligator clips. So just some random electronic stuff. It's not any kind of a kit or anything, but just a random electronic stuff. Let's put this in with the random electronics stuff, because I'm going to need that one specific wire one day. And I'm not going to find it because I put it in with some random electronic stuff. And we have another camera controller. So now I got 4 or 5 or 6 or 7, or just however many I end up with. Another empty bag. It's always good to have empty bags. This is ESC casings. So this is a little cage or whatever to go in some little tiny ESCs. So that's nice. Let's see. What we got here, empty bags. This is some kind of antenna. Potentially a receiver of some sort. Maybe you recognize it, maybe you don't. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Team Black Sheep. Probably not what was originally in that. Let's go ahead and seal it up so it stays in it. And this looks like, actually includes the ESC. More ESC cages with an ESC in it. And wow, look at here. Man, I tell you what, I'm amazed. I finally got me one of these camera remotes. And some more, and another one. Got another one. Yeah. So, tell you what, I'm rolling in it. I'm rolling in it. I got shit going on. Like nobody business. Okay, so let's see. This looks like another thing that says Betaflight F3 with nothing in it but that same wire. Yeah. So I don't know what this is, but chances are they probably, because you'd see them laying around on the table. I didn't have no clue what they was, but they probably put them in there because they're worth something or they're some kind of a special thing. Looks like a camera mount, some barrel connectors, some more antennas. This appears to be a AOMWAY, another antenna. 5.8 gigahertz DC, 6 to 28 volt. So that's some kind of receiver. Empty bag. Another ESC package never opened in one of those little enclosures. Here is something. YouTube. It's got YouTube on it. Come on. Empty bag. Another one of these things. Some ESC holders. Some net wave RF 5 gigahertz. Don't know. Another ESC with a deal. Looks like a motor shield. Goes on a motor. Another antenna thingy. And I don't know, what is this? Let me open it up and look at it. I don't know if I can get this out. I'm not opening the other one. This is one of these. It's one of these things. Everybody needs one of these things. I would. Maybe this is like a all-in-one ESC, to where you can hook up 4 motors and put your battery in here, and this is like controlling the ESCs. But it's also got other connections, like there's other things that you can hook onto. I don't know what this is. There's some writing on it. Let me see if I can get my eyeballs put on, which I got my glasses on, but they ain't no good. This is Tempest FC version 1.3 Moto Lab. So I don't know what that is. You guys tell me. You guys tell me what they are. I don't know. There's 2 of them right here. Nothing actually written on this right here. More wires and connectors. Put that in the wire and connector bag. Here we go. Tons of lighting. So we got a bunch of lighting to put on drones so we can light the drones up. Big old roll of that. So I'm gonna run out of places to stick all this. There's no way this can all go up here. Looks like I'm getting to a shield between layers, maybe. Connectors. Some more silicone wire. Heat shrink. Small wires. More small wires. More camera controllers and camera wires and all that kind of stuff. Starting to get boring. I know there's more stuff in here. I don't know what that is. Maybe some battery wraps and whatever. Another drone kit. Probably an FPV drone of some sort you can put together. So I'm going to start putting some of this stuff on the floor because I can't stick it all up here. Okay, so this is the first layer in there. This is some more framings of some sort. Some more lights. A power supply, I guess, for the lights. And a remote for the lights. So this is just more lighting for drones, drone lighting. So I'm gonna set that off the side. And so this is the, no, I'm sorry, we got one more. Ooh. One more bag of some kind of, oh my gosh. Okay, so let me find some way to stack this stuff off to the side. We're going to start over because this bag here is going to have some interesting stuff in it. But I really hate the way it was packaged because it could have damaged some of it. So I'm definitely going to have to rate this shipment, and I'm going to have to give them an F on packaging. Because this was just piled in there. They did try. They put some cushioning between layers. And it looks like one of the most important things they stuck on the very, very bottom. So stick around to the end of the video. don't leave, because I think there's gonna be some good stuff at the end. And try to get all this out the way so I can start a pile all over again. Okay, so get that wire over here. Okay, so, and let's take this and set this up to the side. And I'm gonna have to pour this out. I mean, there's just no other way I can do this. And this is aggravating. This bag right here is probably one of the most aggravating ones. And I understand they're trying to figure out how they could put all this stuff in here. But again, I mean, some of this stuff you just don't want to go rattling around, slamming around in a bag. So here's some solder wick, 3D printed something. Here's some weird antennas, a motor, another, so that's the inside of one of them weird antennas. And I don't know if that was broke or otherwise or what. Here's another one of them antennas, tons of antennas like that. There's another one of these. Man, there's tons of these Betaflight things. I wonder what this stuff is. I'm gonna have to look that up. I ain't gonna do it right now, but so that's some kind of framework. There's something, I don't know what that is. I don't think that's an ESC, but some more motors, because I mean I needed more motors. I didn't have enough, but I may pretty soon. Nice pretty blue one with an ESC attached to it. Another nice blue one. Another blue, black. So this motor's dead. It was killed. I don't know who motored it, but it's gone. It's not with us anymore. But here's one of the big things that I was looking forward to checking out. It's a Run Cam Sky Plus. So here's a camera, and doesn't look, maybe it's not, hopefully it's not scratched up. Looks like that's got some paint on it, but at least it's got a cap on it, but the camera lens looks kind of scary. This is a Run Cam Owl Plus. So Sky Plus, an Owl Plus, and then here is a Run Cam Swift. I think this, I got a video on unboxing one of these because I bought one. And this one's had an angry something get a hold of it. It's a mini FPV cam. Really doesn't say a whole lot, but may or may not work. Who knows? Lighting. We got another one of those boards. Capacitor built onto it. I just don't know. Is this maybe what those what's those called? Betaflight F3? Let me look that up. I'm gonna go ahead and look it up because I mean all of the, where's my camera? I mean my phone. Let's see if we can do this pretty quick. BETA. Okay, so these are Betaflight F3s. So that's what the, wait, or are they? Or maybe not. Yeah. So that's the, well, it's kind of showing the same thing, but not exactly. So I don't know. Maybe those aren't Betaflights. And let's see what a Betaflight F3. The Betaflight F3 Performance Edition refers to a custom firmware builds of Betaflight for older F3 based flight controllers, offering enhanced features like improved filtering and smoothing, which were necessary to improve performance on resource constrained hardware, as official support for F3 boards ended after version 4.1. So maybe it's some kind of a flight controller. Let me take a look. What was that? Tempest FC. So let's look at that. So Tempest FC version 1.3 refers to a version 1.3 of Moto Lab Tempest, a flight controller board used in FPV drones designed by Moto Lab and featuring a STM32F3 CPU for racing and acrobatics. So this is a flight controller. And yeah, there it is. That matches what this board is. So these are flight controllers. I don't think they're beta flights. If that any better or worse or what, I don't know. That looks like it's probably some kind of a receiver. Maybe lighting module or receiver. Again, I had to get some of the goop off and try to read some of the numbers to figure out what some of these are. TBS Unify 5 gigahertz 5GH video transmit. Okay, so okay, cool. So I got several of those. So this is the video transmitter, because you need a video transmitter on your drone to transmit the video signal back from an FPV drone. Oh, I missed this camera. This is a RunCam Owl Plus. And I don't know how where this goes, but anyway. So another one, hopefully in good condition. Let's just put that camera cover on that one. Another battery motor, of course the dead motor. Antenna transmitter or something. Battery checker. Some kind of lighting array. And I don't know what that is. And that's a video transmitter, I guess. Or something. I don't know. So I've got a bunch of these. A bunch of all of these things. So I can see some drone builds definitely coming up. I think I need to. I think I can. Let me just try to be selective about what I stick back in this bag. These antennas I'll poke back in there. Antenna connectors. Plastic pieces. We'll go ahead and put that back in there. Because I'm going to have to sort this stuff and, make it all better. That's lighting. Yeah, we'll go ahead and throw lighting in there too. Works or it don't work, I don't know. Individual lights. Well, I tell you what, that antenna's seen better days. Some more bullet connectors. So I know I got them. I just have to dig them all out and kind of get them all together in a certain thing. We'll throw that in there. More screws. And we'll toss them in there too. More lighting. Bracket. And we got another camera lens. We'll put that over here with camera stuff. I don't know what that is. I'm going to say that's some kind of lighting out of a drone. More lighting. Another bracket. And so this looks like an assembly out of an actual drone that was killed. These boards will slip. Let me kind of separate circuit boards and just plain wiring. And I'm sorry, but I just can't put all this back in this bag and just let it get destroyed. So this wiring and stuff right here will just go in the wiring bag. And I'll grab these motors and set them off to the side. And I know the screw doesn't go with wiring, but it is for now, because I'm not even halfway through the box of stuff here. So put that in there. See if I can just, and I hate to do electronics like this. When I don't care about the electronics or if they ever work again, I usually do this, but I don't have an option at the moment. I can't make this video last until tomorrow because I have to be at work tomorrow. And yeah, it's still recording. And that's just wired. And then this, I'm going to just put that off to the side for now. And then the camera stuff, we'll figure it out. But we'll do that for now. And then the motors, we'll just keep this little pile going right here. And I need to go ahead and put these in with just the wiring stuff because that was that battery I tore down. Okay, so now we've got this, which this is just more wiring. So let's put that off to the side. Now, maybe I can redeem some of his packaging because it appeared, oh, this might be a drone, but it had stuff just piled on top of it. So it could be a dead drone. I don't know if it's a dead drone, but it is a dirty drone. Looks like it's got one of those boards on top, a camera on the front, standoffs. It's got one of those flight controllers and these little small ESCs. So this might be one of those little FPV stunt drones. The motors are RM 2206 2300 XTS. So there's 4 of those. So this may be some kind of little stunt FPV drone. Because that's a little worse for wear. So we'll put that off to the side. We'll just kind of lay that one up there. So maybe this is another one. Yeah, I think this is another drone. Okay, this one says Space 1. Looks like some hot glue goop. It may have crashed. Well, they fixed it, Captain. These blades have run into stuff. No one of them funky looking antennas. Battery holder on the box. Same flight controller as the other one. Same look like receiver. And so you got, I guess you got a video receiver. Maybe these are all-in-one boards. And this has got a camera built into it. Looks like a little Transformer Decepticon icon on the front of it. These motors are EMAX RS2205s. So there we go with another drone. Then I think this might be another drone. Yeah, it's a thrust UAV. And it looks like it's kind of sealed somewhat inside. His antenna. It's a Riot Race Series SC2205. That propeller has some issues. There we go. That's good as new. Perfect. Tilted kind of up so we'll get more lift. And then this one is a specially balanced drone propeller, and it is designed to offset people who are terrible at controlling drones or something like that. So this has a USB connector built onto the board or frame of the drone. So this is some kind of a actual drone build kit, possibly. It says Riot. Feels pretty hefty, the frame anyway. And okay, so there just happens to be another drone. This looks like a kit build drone. It's got a camera on it. This is a little smaller style drone. RM2206. I think that's the same kind of batteries as another one. So let's see. So let's see what we got. Man, I tell you what, there ain't no more. And that's just a bunch of propellers. And I think I'm going into the propeller selling business because I got propellers for sale. I got propellers for sale for days. Yeah. And I don't think we are going to go through every one of these propellers. It all seems to be propellers. Racecraft. I don't get that. But Easter egg propellers? I don't know. Okay, so there appears to be a massive pile of propellers. So I'm going to put all those back in there because I don't want to mess with them. If I do find something in there over and above these propellers, I will most certainly tag on. But I think, for the best I can tell, there's about, I don't know, I'm going to guess a good 8 inches worth of propellers in the bottom of that box. So we're just going to say that's propellers and leave it alone. And then we're going to say this is propellers too. These are little shorty shorts. Dow prop. The little cut off short prop propellers. So I don't know if that's anything special, but I got them. I got bunches of them. Got bunches of propellers. So when it comes to Mr. Thrust UAV, I think I can fix these propellers up. So let's get this item out. And it was very well wrapped, I can say that. Hopefully it was not damaged. But it looks like if it is, he did try to keep it from getting damaged. And this is an FR Sky Tyrannus Plus ACCST Digital Telemetry Radio System. Make sure it's turned off. You've got a little bit. Let's see. It's got the JR port on the back. It's your antenna. It's a little worse for wear, but I can fix that. Looks like it is missing a switch. A momentary here. I don't know about these sliders, but hey, they're there. So it looks like the only thing that it's really missing is this switch right here. So it just means that I'll have to pop it open and replace it. Now this switch right here is a 3-position switch that I just have. I have some of these. I have several of these. There's another project I was going to do, and I think I've decided not to do that project. But so this has got a battery in it. And it seems to be the battery it's supposed to be in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 batteries. We know how me and these things, I think that video may be posted today. We know that I don't get along with batteries. I mean, I get along with batteries. I don't get along with transmitters and batteries in transmitters. So let me see if I can fight with it. There we go. Got it on. Doesn't seem to come on. No buttons there. Looks like a charge port. So I'm not going to be able to power this on because I'm not going to just go shoving batteries in it. Because I don't like smoke. I don't like any color smoke, especially when it's at my workbench. So it's digital trim controls. Let me just go ahead and do this. Let me pull this battery. See, that's a 4 prong, so it should take a 3S battery. And I think the instructions does say you can plug a 3S battery over here. And then on this one, I don't know. So this is 7.2 volts. The 3S battery would be just under 12 volts. So that's kind of strange. So I don't know. I'm going to have to do some research before I decide to try something. This shows DC 7.2 volts. That's most likely the charge port. But this is going to get this is going to get its own individual video. So I'm not going to plug it in, because a lot of times with batteries, if they're in bad shape, you can make the electronics they're plugged into bad by the battery bursting from being in there. And also with this switch being missing, I want to make sure it's not rattling around inside. So the first thing I'll do with the video on this will be a tear down to check the insides, to confirm the plugs inside this thing, so that it is not like the other FlySky that may have had some issues when I plugged a battery into it. Or maybe I had issues and I plugged a battery. I don't know. Call it whatever you want. But I don't want to repeat that process. So I'm going to do some checking on the inside of this and see what we've got. And that'll be on that particular video. Maybe we'll shoot that video tomorrow night. I don't know. But potentially we will be able to get in there and try to get this powered up. But I've definitely got to look on the inside before I do that. I don't want to just plug stuff in. I don't want to take a chance on something blowing this thing apart and it be good, and it not be good after I plug a battery in. So anyway, I appreciate you coming along on this little adventure right here. And I'm looking forward to doing something with some of this stuff. I'm also looking forward to selling some of this stuff, because I don't need it all. And I can't do something with all of it. And so, you know, I'm going to come up with however many projects I want to make out of this, and then probably sell the rest. I may wind up just putting it in a big bulk thing and putting it on eBay and going from there. The drones, we're going to play with those. I think what I want to try to do is get each one of the drones flying, and then I'll sell off, you know, whatever I don't want. I may keep maybe 2 of these, and then the rest of it we'll see. And there's a bunch of frames like this, and some like this, and then there's some frames like that one up there. And so there's multiple frames for these kits. And I got motors to build more of these. So I don't know. We may do a deal where we build multiple of these little flyers, drones, and sell them or do something. We'll see. So anyway, I appreciate you being here with me. I appreciate you staying awake the whole time. And I would like to ask that if you enjoy this kind of content, like and subscribe. If not, I would ask that you would go to my main channel and take a look on there, because there's all kind of stuff. It's not just drone stuff. There's some archery. There's going to be more archery stuff. There is a little machining. There'll be some more in the future. DIY fabrication, automotive, you name it. Whatever I need to do, I'm trying to video it to help instructions on someone else having to do that. Plus, I'm trying to do videos on reviews and multiple things, electronics and everything. So there's a lot of stuff, and it's a range of stuff. It's not a specific whatever. I'm not a drone channel. I'm not a archery channel. I'm not a programming channel. I'm not an electronics channel. I am a little bit of everything channel. Whatever I deal with, I do. I've had the curse and the privilege to have to learn how to fix stuff, because I grew up with very little means, and so I had to learn how to make do. I had to learn how to rig stuff when I had no money or no way to take care of it. Growing up as a kid, I had a ton of old junkyard bicycles, and my bicycle tear up, I'd go tearing the 3 or 4 bikes apart, and I'd end up with a running bicycle. I'd ride it until something would break or mess up, and I'd go back to the pile and I'd build me another bicycle. But I learned a lot about troubleshooting stuff as a little kid, doing stuff like that, and I learned a lot of stuff about bicycles that helped me future in my future life and career in being able to troubleshoot stuff and figure stuff out. And so I call it a blessing and a curse because it was hard, but it was also a blessing because I learned a lot of stuff to be able to do it on my own and not have to pay somebody, because not everybody has the money to pay somebody else to do anything for them. It's nice to be able to do it yourself and choose to pay someone else to do it for you if you have the means. But not everybody does. And so I grew up that way and I learned a lot of stuff. And when YouTube come along, I started to learn so much more. And I intend to do more of that. I'm probably not going to do any gunsmithing stuff because that's so touchy on YouTube. But gunsmithing, reloading, refinishing guns and stuff, maybe some refinishing stuff. I'll have to dig into the rules and everything on YouTube before I do something like that. But I do all that stuff too, on my stuff, and it's just whatever needs to be done, I do it. And when I get something, I like to make it my own, and so I'm able to with the stuff that I've learned. I'm a master of nothing, but I did learn and gain a lot of skills over the years doing things. So anyway, I'm going to quit drowning you in my words, and we are going to finally cut out of here. I appreciate you. I enjoy spending time with you, and we're going to do more of it. And I'll see you next time. Your time is very important to me, and I thank you for spending it here with me. Thanks, and God bless.